Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you once again here on the U to the 2. You know, that's red, matches my shirt color, you know what I mean? Anyway, all right. Week 2. It's getting ready to kick off very, very soon. Well, technically starting tomorrow. But let's take a look at this week 2 matchup for the Carolina Panthers. They'll be staying at home, but this time they will be going up against the New Orleans Saints. That's right. NFC South Divisional game. The first one of the season for the Carolina Panthers. So, looking at the ESPN matchup predictor, a 60.2% chance the Saints win, a 39.5% chance the Panthers win, and a 0.3% chance of a tie. Now, looking at the injury report, it looks like defensive tackle Daquan Jones and Pat Elflein, as well as John Miller, were limited in practice, but do know that John Miller supposedly is scheduled to be activated off of the reserve COVID list. So I guess it's just a matter of if he will. Oh, actually, he was activated. Never mind, he actually was activated. So hopefully he'll be able to get back into the starting lineup for this Sunday's game. Of course, the previous week against the Jets, Dennis Daly started in place of him. And I know Pat Elflein, he was injured in the Jets game, but did come back in and finish the game, but he's dealing with a hip injury, and Daquan Jones is dealing with a groin injury. But it's something that they're monitoring. His practice was limited. But some good news, Justin Burris, Sean Chandler, and Shi Smith, that's right, were all full participants in practice. So it looks like Shi Smith, I don't know. What do y'all think? Are we possibly going to see the regular season debut of Shi Smith this Sunday? I think it would be cool. That would give Carolina Panthers offense another deep threat. I mean, think about it. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Shi Smith, throwing Christian McCaffrey. You know he can do those wheel routes. I mean, hey, that's another weapon to the offense. And Shi Smith had a good preseason, almost as well as Terrace Marshall Jr., but Shi Smith, he had a good preseason up until he had gotten hurt. But if he's actually on schedule to return soon, as soon as this week, that would be awesome. That would be really awesome. So we'll have to wait and see, but that's a good sign that he was a full participant in practice. That was a really, really good sign. Now, this Saints game. Now, do keep in mind the Saints, they're going to be missing some players. Their top wide receiver, Michael Thomas, is still going to be out for this game. And, of course, they let go of running back Latavius Murray. But they still got that dual two-headed monster, the solo two-headed monster, as in Alvin Kamara, because he's excellent in the running game and in the receiving game. And then, of course, recently, their returner, Deontay Harris, had a 55-yard touchdown catch, and their tight end, Juwan Johnson, had 2 touchdowns in their previous game. Now, I'll say this. Jameis Winston didn't have a lot of yards in the previous game, But he did throw 5 touchdowns. He did throw five touchdowns. Now, I'll say this. Do I think he'll have 5 touchdowns against the Panthers defense? Heck no. No way. No way. I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked if he gets even 3 touchdowns against the Panthers defense. Panthers defense, like I said, they have been on point. They just took their foot off the gas in that Jets game. Now, don't get me wrong. The Saints definitely have a better defense. I believe they have a better defense than the Jets. I mean, can't sleep on Marcus Davenport, of course, Cameron Jordan. Can't sleep on them. Can't sleep on David Onyemata. Of course, Desmond Trufant. Marshawn Lattimore, which is another notable name. And of course, Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, Saints do have a defense. They definitely have a defense. And, they obliterated the Packers this past Sunday. I mean, obliterated them. I mean, they beat them 38-3. It's kind of a big deal. And the Packers are no slouch team. But the Saints obliterated them. So, do I have some concern? I do. But, I mean, it's for understandable reasons. One, this is a division game. You always want to put a little extra bit of concern on division games because anything can happen in division games. They're the most important games in a regular season. But, with how the Saints have played, you got to ask yourself something. Is this a Jameis Winston that's meant to be taken seriously? I mean, after all, had his stint with the Bucs, had some flashes, but now is with the Saints, and the dude opens up the season with 5 touchdown passes. Do I think he'll throw that many in this game? No. But are we not taking Jameis Winston serious? Do we need to start taking him serious? Something to think about. And of course, Alvin Kamara, is going to be dangerous. And they got our fullback, Alex Arma, as well. So, I mean, they still can do damage on offense as well as defense. And it's gonna be a tough game. Definitely a much tougher game. For the Carolina Panthers, the offense really, really has to be on point. They have to be on point. Because remember, even though my boss got on my last nerves about this, in the second half of the Jets game, the Panthers only scored 3 points in the entire second half. So, I mean, that's still an area of concern. Offensive line did okay, but that's just it. They did okay. And, like it was mentioned in the Sam Darnold touchdown pass to Robbie Anderson, if McCaffrey didn't hit that block and Sam Darnold didn't sidestep and step forward in that throw, that touchdown doesn't happen because he would have gotten sacked. So hopefully offensive line will click even more. Supposedly we should be getting a returning John Miller, but hopefully this offensive line can really hold strong because like I said, that D-line, they're going to be coming, especially being led by Cam Jordan. They're going to be coming. They're going to be coming. They're going to be aggressive. I don't doubt that they're going to be aggressive. But we'll see what happens. But Christian McCaffrey, I believe we'll get his. But if Sam Darnold can do like he did before, make good decisions with the ball, I think the offense has a chance to flourish. But it's really going to start with the offensive line, holding it together, opening up holes, and giving Sam Darnold plenty of time. But that offense is going to be challenged even more in this game. Now, as far as the defense, now always definitely keep in mind both Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston are mobile quarterbacks. So, Zach Wilson, in one of his touchdown passes was a pass he threw on the run, escaping out of the pocket. So, something that Carolina defense is going to have to take note of, maybe do a little bit of spying of the quarterback, depending on who's in, because I'm sure they're going to alternate and throw in some Taysom Hill in there for maybe a few plays. But, the defense is going to be tested as well. But I think they have a good shot to definitely eat. I mean, I'm not too keen on the Saints offensive line, but I'm not going to sleep on them. I'm not going to sleep on that offensive line. But I still believe that the D definitely will have plenty of opportunities to eat. And then another thing that was mentioned is the nickel position. Who's going to really play the nickel position in this upcoming game with Miles Hartsfield out and on injured reserve? So that's another thing. We also are bringing in Zane Gonzalez as the new place kicker. We got to remember, Coach Matt Rule opted to punt on the opponent's 33-yard line in the Jets game. That's a red flag. Yeah, it might have been one incident, but that's a red flag. So I feel like he wasn't confident in Ryan Santoso. Could it potentially be the same sort of thing with Zane Gonzalez? Which, who has more experience than Ryan Santoso? But, is it another issue with confidence? Or is it just one of those things where it's just so gung-ho on getting touchdowns by any means necessary and not settling for field goals? But when you're in a position to get the points, you got to get the points. Yes, I totally get it. I hate resorting to field goals, especially in the red zone, but you do what you got to do to get points. You got to get points. You don't win by field position. You win by getting points. That's what it comes down to. So we'll see how Zane Gonzalez does with this upcoming game. But I still feel good. I still feel good about this matchup. Although I think it's going to be closer. I think it's going to be closer. So I'm going to say 24-21 Carolina Panthers. 24-21. Around that range. Now, I know I was off in the previous game, which I predicted 30-14. Well, I got the 14 part right. But, I think this game's going to be close. It's a division game. And while I don't believe the Saints are the strongest team in the NFC South, they should be taken seriously. They definitely should be taken seriously. But I think Carolina has a good chance to win this game. And the thing is, even after this game, they're not going to have a whole lot of time to rest, because then they got to play Thursday night against the Houston Texans. And that's a road game. Their first away game of the season. So But I'm hopeful. I'm definitely hopeful that we can get some of our guys back healthy. I hope Dante Jackson's okay. They didn't have him listed, but it looks like he's okay to go. But I would love to see if Shi Smith can play this game. That'd be awesome. That'd be very awesome. And John Miller as well, if he can return, get back into the starting lineup, that should be good. But I think just a lot of what I said in the previous game should really tie right on into this game. Offensive line's got to shine. The play calling, Joe Brady, I still need to see more aggressiveness from Joe Brady. I still need to see him really expand. I mean, while Christian McCaffrey's a great safety blanket, especially in the check down game, you don't want to solely rely on him. We got to take some shots downfield, especially when you got weapons like Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall Jr., Christian McCaffrey, and lining up, and soon to be returning Shi Smith. Like, you got to use your weapons. The tight ends. I mean, Dan Arnold, supposed to be a red zone threat. I mean, let's use them. So hopefully just see some aggressive play calling and just really utilizing our weapons. And then the defense just has to do what they did before and just not take their foot off the gas. There may be some question at the nickel position, nickel and safety position, but I think Carolina defense will still be solid. They'll be aggressive. They opened up the season with 6 sacks, so I got a good feeling they can continue that in the Saints game. They're back at home again, so this is good. But division games, you always got to take serious, and this is nothing short of that. But 24-21, that's my prediction. Carolina wins by a field goal. That's my prediction. But what do you guys think? What do y'all think, Panther fans? What do you think about this matchup? This first division matchup with the Saints. Of course, we're going to be visiting each team in the NFC South twice. So we get an early look at the Saints. What do y'all think about this matchup? Do you think it favors more Carolina, New Orleans? Do you think it favors heavily one and not the other? How do you think this is going to turn out? What do you think the keys to the game are for Carolina to get their second victory and keep the streak going? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. This is Blitzball champ Jason Ingram coming at you with another Carolina Panthers talk. Hope everybody has a blessed evening and a good day tomorrow. Peace.